This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Ryan Pierce, host of Completely Serious here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Completely Serious, where we talk about sports and have fun with great guests. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Completely Serious. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hello, everyone. It is No Filter Friday on Public House Media. Thanks for coming in. Who is already messing up my broadcast? No notifications, folks. No notifications. It's Friday. We're filterless, and I am not on the road this week. So that means we get to have our hashtag No Filter Friday steaming teacup. Do you see the steam? Do you see the steam coming off this cup? We are about to spill it, folks. Oh, yeah, that's really hot. The tea that I'm drinking this week is Snarky Tea. Snarky Tea, drink your feelings. And this one, I think, is the Namaste Tea. I think that's which this one is. I'm not actually this highlighted today. I think it's my ring lights really turned up. I'm gonna turn it down a little bit because I feel like you should focus on my words and not the gleam coming off my face. Let's see if that's any better. Still shiny, but manageable. That's fine. Whatever. Cool. I apologize for last week. Thought I was going to be able to get it together. And I couldn't. My flight got a little bit delayed and I landed at like noon or something, 11:30. And I immediately went to bed. And I thought, I'll be up to do an 8:30 show. I slept until like 11 o'clock at night, and then I got up and said, oh my gosh, I've been sleeping this whole time, and then went back to bed and slept the next morning. 2 weeks on the road, solid. Messed me up this time. I went to Detroit, I went to Denver, I went to Florida. I went all over the place. It was a good time, but it was rough, man. Experienced many different seasons. Hang on, I'm getting an email. Who is this? Who is it? Great. Wonderful. Talking to different publications about photo shoots and things this week. Trying to make it happen. Let me take a second. Hello, person coming in. Let me take a second. Can I just share it from here? I don't think I can. Why can't I make it smaller and then share it? Let me try doing a different tab. See if I can do it from a different tab. Because I think with as loaded as this episode is, I think it's important to share this one because I don't always do it. I don't always do a live share of the video. But I think this week's important because this week we are talking about Georgina Chapman, who is Harvey Weinstein's, I guess, soon-to-be ex-wife. They have 2 kids together. They're like 8 and 5, so they have young kids. And it's been a real doozy for good old Georgina Chapman. But how could it not be? And she's had some roadblocks around the way. So let's take a second and share to a page. Which page shall we share to? And the page you manage on your timeline. Let's see if this works. Let's see. Let's double check. Need to double check. There we go. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. How fantastic. Okay, great. So we'll go back to our original window. So Georgina Chapman, for those of you who don't know, has been married to Harvey Weinstein for a while now. They have 2 kids. And more importantly, not that her kids are unimportant because they are, but more importantly, she has a line called MARCHESA with this woman, Karen Craig, and they're also backed by Donna Karen of Donna Karen and DKNY, which is the line that most people know. And MARCHESA is all they do basically, essentially is they just make gowns. They make really, really, really incredible gowns. If you were to go to like, I know Neiman's carries it. I know Neiman's carries MARCHESA. Well, Neiman's, probably Barney's. They carry MARCHESA. And MARCHESA got to be a thing, let's be honest, because Harvey put up the money to start it, and then Georgina and her partner designed things, and they have the backing, fashion-wise, of Donna Karen. So I'm not saying this to be mean, I'm just saying it because it's true. Old Harvey Weinstein got them out of their clothes so Georgina Chapman can dress them. And it's made them a lot of money. It's given Georgina an entire career along with this other lady. My hair is just crazy today. I might have to wash this. Anyway, it's given them an entire career. And then when the news broke on Harvey, Donna Karen immediately released a statement that was really dumb, and we'll probably read it later. Hello, David. Sounds a little garbled. Ooh. Thank you for telling me that. Maybe I will plug in headphones.
How does it sound now? Does it sound better now? Yes or no? David, Aussie, how does it sound with headphones in? Is it better? Because Aussie, as you know, my bedroom is the sounds of the 101 because that's where my bedroom faces. So let me know if it sounds any better. Hopefully it does. Yeah, sounds great. Wonderful. Thank you for the feedback. Anyway, you sound clearer. Okay, well, it's up to you, David, because you're the one that edits this for the podcast person. So whatever David wants, David gets. This is as best as I can do, I think, for now. Anywho, back to Georgina Chapman. So after Donna Karen releases a statement that was really dumb, MARCHESA didn't necessarily shut its doors. They didn't stop production. They didn't stop, fulfilling orders, but works for you. Okay, great. They canceled their shows at New York Fashion Week, and during award show season, they didn't dress anybody. They did not lend gowns to anyone, which was probably for the best. I mean, the red carpet was already buzzing about news from Harvey. It would be really awkward to ask somebody what's going on or what they feel about things or what have you when they were standing there in a MARCHESA gown. That would not have gone over well, I don't think, in my opinion. So that was probably a good move on their part. They probably took a hit financially, that's for sure, but if they're still fulfilling orders, why not? From the first couple days that this news broke on Harvey to the rest of the world, all of Hollywood knew, obviously. I was like, oh, that's interesting. What's going to happen with Georgina Chapman and what's going to happen with MARCHESA? Because it was, at the time, it was just a joke that Harvey got them out of their clothes and Georgina got them back into them. But from what we're hearing now, from these new murmurings, maybe that wasn't a joke. Maybe that was a harsh reality. So this week was also the Met Gala, the most holy day in fashion. And Scarlett Johansson wore Marchesa, which is amazing. She looked great. She looked fabulous. It was a classic Marchesa cut and color and trims, like the whole thing. It was definitely a Marchesa look through and through. See if I can pull up for you. Maybe it'll make it bigger. She looked kind of older here, though. Anyway, that's the top of the gown that Scarlett Johansson wore. And honestly, her face does not look great here. That hair and makeup combo is not ScarJo friendly. But anyway, so Scarlett Johansson wore Marchesa on May 7th, which was Tuesday. The first Tuesday in May. Oh no, Monday. The first Monday in May. Which of course reignited this conversation about Georgina. And in my opinion, it's taken a long time to finally get to this conversation with Georgina, but I'm sure she's not, I mean, I have sympathy for the lady, like, whether she knew or didn't know, like, having your husband running around doing all this stuff and you have 2 small kids at home and responsibilities to worry about, like, I can't even begin to think of how you would deal with it, let alone make it through to the other side. So I'm going to read you an excerpt from this Washington Post story where she said that Georgina Chapman said she was never suspicious of a strange Harvey Weinstein. Let's see if I can find the quote. So there's been like levels to this. A few weeks ago, Anna Wintour of Vogue said that so after the Met Gala, Anna Wintour said that Scarlett Johansson wearing the dress was, you know, a great gesture of support when she did the Late Show with Stephen Colbert on Wednesday. And then she also added, Georgina is a brilliant designer, and I don't think she should be blamed for her husband's behavior, said Wintour, who's also the organizer of the Met Gala. Which is true. Like, Georgina was not out here raping or sexually assaulting anybody as far as we know, but, you know, it was Harvey that got accused of these things, not Georgina. So regardless of her husband's reputation or his actions or etc., she didn't do those herself. He did. And she's like such a gorgeous lady. So he was cheating on that by assaulting people, just so we're clear. So Georgina Chapman gave an interview for what's going to be the June issue of Vogue. Georgina told Vogue she never suspected her husband of wrongdoing. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. She said never. There was a part of me that was terribly naive, clearly so naive. She said at another point tearfully, I have moments of rage, I have moments of confusion, I have moments of disbelief. And I have moments when I just want to cry for my children. What are their lives going to be? What are people going to say to them? She said that she lost 10 pounds in 5 days after allegations about Weinstein surfaced in investigative pieces. In the New York Times and the New Yorker, Gwyneth Paltrow, Angelina Jolie, and Ashley Judd were among actresses making accusations soon after the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences expelled Weinstein, whose films have won numerous Oscars. I had what I thought was a very happy marriage, Chapman told Vogue. I loved my life. She said she kept a low profile after the allegations surfaced because she was hurt, humiliated, and protective of the couple's children. India 7 and Dashiell 5, she canceled her fashion show and didn't offer gowns during award show season. We didn't feel it was appropriate. And she was 100% correct. All the women who have been hurt deserve dignity and respect, so I want to give it the time it deserves. And apparently, hello Brittany, thanks for coming in. Apparently Alyssa Milano in December was on Megyn Kelly Today and said that Chapman was an amazing woman. Milano and Chapman worked together on Project Runway All Stars. Milano's support of Chapman swiftly drew critics. Rose McGowan, of course she was going to come up. A Weinstein accuser and Milano's co-star on the show Charmed. Oh yeah, that's right, they worked together. I didn't even think about that. Said Milano's support of Chapman made her want to vomit. Ironically, it was an October tweet from Milano urging women who had been sexually harassed or assaulted to write Me Too that helped jumpstart the movement soon after the hashtag Me Too surged. So while Alyssa Milano was on the show, she said, she goes through very dark times, and Milano said of Chapman on the show, she's very sad. This is not easy for her, but no doubt that not only will she come out at the other side of this, but she deserves to. She's a good woman. And then Scarlett Johansson said of why she wore Marchesa this time around, I wore Marchesa because their clothes make women feel confident and beautiful, Johansson said in a statement to Variety. And it's my pleasure to support a brand created by two incredibly talented and important female designers. So that's the important stuff for now. However, we're going to scroll back and we're going to talk about this other little blurb that's further up in the article, but I thought I would flip it around just for linear sake. Okay, when Weinstein fell from grace, so too did the desire for Hollywood's elite to be seen in Marchesa gowns. There were gossip stories and social media squawkers speculating that Chapman must have speculated or known about her husband's alleged behavior. In October, for example, Felicity Huffman, a desperate housewives, told The Hollywood Reporter that Weinstein once threatened her career if she refused to wear a Marchesa dress. And then there's another thing in here that talks about Jessica Chastain. Where'd you go, Jessica? Let me see if I can find it somewhere else. But oh, and Lindsay's here. Hello, Lindsay. So it doesn't surprise me. Like, there's no designer that gets that big that fast, especially in the gown space, like dressing people for red carpets without some major help. Like, it's just not a thing. Like, you just can't. People, and not only that, but like, hang on. Let me keep it one space at a time. Dressing celebrities for the red carpet is not a joke. It's very expensive. A lot of people, require that they're paid to wear stuff. Unless you are, BFFs with Karl Lagerfeld, like, and that's like, that designer is like your person. Most people get paid to wear stuff because it's such a good marketing move. And it's a bidding war. People throw all kinds of money at people to get them, especially during award show season, like when the whole world is watching, like, especially ladies, like guys in suits, maybe. But for actresses or any ladies walking down big red carpets, like, they're getting paid. Because they're making an entire brand, and more often than not, like, there's an agreement in place, and if they're wearing couture, it's taken months and months and months to make. And, if that award show is in January or February, or sometimes the Oscars falls really late into March, they're working on these things, trying to get these deals in place in November so they can work on these gowns the entire time. It's an entire component of the business that we don't really talk about, but it's true. And the same thing goes for Cannes. Like, when you see people walking, because Cannes going right now, like when you see people walking down the red carpet in Cannes that don't have a film in, who don't even work in the film industry, aka Bella Hadid, and they're just walking up and down this red carpet, just trying to get a cover, just trying to get photos ran. A designer paid them to go and to wear their gown on a carpet. It's a great business. It's wonderful. It's one of my favorite things about Cannes. But Jessica Chastain also said that for press tours for Weinstein films, like, she was pressured into wearing Marchesa, which, granted, Jessica Chastain has a really incredible relationship with Chanel and a couple other designers because she's got such an ethereal face on her. like, Marchesa's beautiful. Like, you shouldn't necessarily be, it's not about, wanting to wear the dress or not, but when you have a relationship with another designer, or you have a designer that's going to pay you $25,000, $35,000 to wear something, on top of end up with this piece of couture that was made for you in Paris, is one of the few perks of this business. So we all knew that, making Marchesa what it was required some massaging from Harvey himself, but I didn't think that he was threatening anybody to wear it, because it is so gorgeous. Like, I've never worn Marchesa for anything, but I've tried it on a few times, and it's amazing. It's so good. Like, especially like a really like flowy, jeweled, ruffly feminine gown, Marchesa. Oh, so good. It is amazing. Apparently, after Georgina left, she went to go kick it with David Oyelowo, which is an interesting choice, but maybe it's not. I haven't read this article yet, so this will be a fun thing to read together. Because how she ended up on his couch, who knows? Maybe they're very good friends. Okay. So this is from May 10th. A surprising person came to Georgina Chapman's aid after decades of sexual assault harassment allegations against her husband Harvey Weinstein rocked the world. The fashion designer, 42, is profiled for the first time since the scandal in Vogue, where Selma actor David Oyelowo, her friend of 25 years, oh wow, they've known each other for a long time, reveals he let her escape to his home in his Los Angeles home. I kind of found myself in the first responder capacity, Oyelowo said in the article. My wife and I were right there with her 2 kids, and this catastrophe was unfolding in real time across the globe. Literally your worst nightmare in terms of a marriage, in terms of the future of your kids and your business, and none of this was your own doing, and yet you were entirely lumped into it. Yes, David Oyelowo, that is a really great way to put it. He continues about his close friend. The thing that was the most difficult to witness was that she quite literally took the stance of not going out there and defending herself, because there was just too much white noise and too much bile headed in her general direction. She felt, how dare I raise my head and say, oh, by the way, I'm suffering too. That is a fair sentiment, and that is a very self-aware thing to say. The two met when Chapman was 18 and was checking out of college to attend in northern England when she bumped into Oyelowo. Though neither ended up enrolling in the college's drama program, they stayed in touch as their respective careers began to blossom. Chapman even invited the British actor to meet Weinstein when the two were dating. Chapman and Weinstein married in 2007 and have 2 children together, 7 and 4. 7 and 5, get it right, Google. I was in my car on Mulholland Drive, and I got a call from George, Oyelowo said. She said, come to Shutters on the beach. If you have a scandal on your head, Shutters is not the place to go. Although beautiful, and they have a fantastic crew to tape plate, maybe not the place to go. I want you to meet my new boy. Oh, okay, this was back in the day. I want you to meet my new boyfriend. George was there. And the very famous producer Harvey Weinstein was there. I was still waiting for the boyfriend to emerge until it sort of became evident. Oh, this is who she meant. And I will be 100% honest with you, I was very skeptical. But as time went on, as they got married, had children, there was no way of denying that it was a genuine couple. On October 10th, Chapman announced she was leaving Weinstein after 11 years of marriage in light of his sexual misconduct allegations. My heart breaks for all of the women who have suffered, she said in a statement to People. In January, a source told People that Weinstein will pay out an estimated $15 to $20 million to the designer per their a divorce agreement. Ooh, Lord have mercy. Although I'm kind of surprised it's not more than that. Chapman and Weinstein have not filed in court despite reaching the settlement. The producer has been accused of sexual misconduct by over 60 since the New York Times and the New Yorker documented decades of alleged sexual misconduct and sexual assault involving a number of women in detailed Pulitzer Prize-winning articles in October. The spokesperson for Weinstein previously told People in a statement that any allegations of non-consensual sex are unequivocally denied by Mr. Weinstein. Mr. Weinstein has further confirmed that there was never any acts of retaliation against women for refusing his advances. Well, we all know that's a lie, but good job, Mr. Lawyer person. So, if you would have asked me who took in Georgina Chapman after this ordeal, David Oyelowo would not be even in my top 50, but okay, cool, great. She had a soft landing place. That is wonderful. Good for her. And the thing with the, okay, so we're going to circle back to this Met Ball Scarlett Johansson situation. So the Met Gala, if you don't know, is the Metropolitan Costume Museum's gala on the first Monday in May, and it is put on by Anna Wintour, who is the current editor-in-chief of Vogue. Before her, it was Diana Vreeland of Harper's Bazaar. It changes depending on, the decade, etc. Anyway, it's very expensive to go to the Met Gala. I think it's like $25,000 or $30,000 a plate. And people pay that. Just regular people that are New Yorkers or costume enthusiasts or, people from around the world that want to attend the gala. They pay the money for their seat and they dress however it is that they dress, and then they go. The way celebrities end up being there is that they are dressed by a celebrity and a designer, or they're dressed by a designer. They're paid for and dressed by a designer. So Sarah Jessica Parker used to go with Alexander McQueen when he was alive. So McQueen would pay for SJP's entrance and then dress her and pay for his own and whoever else they had going as a representation of that designer. There's other people that, Patricia's here. Hello, Patricia. So this year, Scarlett Johansson had her ticket paid for by MARCHESA. So MARCHESA's getting back in the fashion game by having anyone wear it anywhere. But the Met Ball with Scarlett Johansson is a doozy, and they're jumping back into the market feet first, and that's good for them, because if it was just some garbage collection, I would say, whatever, screw it, fine. But MARCHESA it's amazing stuff. So they were right to cancel their New York Fashion Week shows. They were right to keep their nose out of award show season and keep their head down and stay in their sewing rooms and focus on the next year. But this is a really good turning of tides for MARCHESA and for Georgina and for her partner. And Donna Karan can do whatever. She put her foot in her mouth, but whatever, she'll come back from it. Jean-Paul Gaultier has done far worse, and he's still, or no, not Jean-Paul Gaultier, Galliano. Galliano's done worse. They've all done worse, and they're all still kicking, so they'll be fine. And she has Anna Wintour on her side. I mean, who better to handle your scandal than the Dragon Lady herself? Like, it doesn't get much, like, from a fashion perspective, it doesn't get much better than that. Like, the woman legitimized Kim Kardashian. She can legitimize Kim Kardashian. She can float Georgina Chapman for a while. So, luckily, they have that kind of support. Because a man can't bring you through everything. You can only sleep your way to the middle. The rest you got to do yourself. So thanks for joining me here on Public House Media for No Filter Friday. I was really excited when this story broke after the Met Gala this week, because I was like, this is so my jam. #MeToo, Met Gala, fashion business in general. show, this particular episode, I'm happy that it came around. So if you are not joining us for the live show and you're coming in for the podcast, you can find the podcast on iTunes and iHeartRadio and Google Play under Public House Media. And if you find yourself over there downloading it, give it likes and stars and comments and reviews and all that good stuff, and check out other shows on Public House Media like Choose to Rise and Coffee with Keith and Katie, and who else is the new one? There's also a couple of new other shows like Beauties and Headcanons, all those fun, way lighter shows than mine. All of those people have a lot of fun. So thanks for coming by, and I will see you next week. Who knows what will unfold between this Friday and next. Could have a whole other thing. So happy No Filter Friday, y'all. See you later.